referee is Ron Hogarth, and the linesmen Leon Stickle and Ron Asseltine. Don Beaupre, last Wednesday in Minnesota, the Leafs shelled Beaupre for 5 goals. They went on to win 6-4. Mike Palmateer with Rick St. Croix out for 3 weeks or so. It's going to be up to Palmateer to carry the load for a while. Starting tonight, Bob Perron is up from St. Catharines and is the backup for this one.
Now, the North Stars played last night at home against the high-flying Edmonton Oilers, and Coach Bill Mahoney said that's one of our best efforts, offensively and defensively. We had the better scoring chances, but just couldn't put the puck past Grant Fuhr. And that's something he's been stressing this year, is let's stop some of the pucks that are going in our net.
Giles and Maxwell starting on the defense for Minnesota. We've got a fight started right away. This game is only 6 seconds old, and already tempers flare as these two teams in the Norris division go at it right from the start. Maxwell is the Minnesota player, and Pat Graham, number 23, the Toronto Maple Leaf.
You want to be a linesman when you're trying to separate them and both guys are throwing punches.
Tell you that Asseltine can do it. And Stickle, two big boys. Well, they get them apart, and right off the bat, Ron Hogarth busy handing out penalties here at the 6-second mark of this opening period. Maybe, Gary, that's a sign of things to come. We'll be back in a moment. Here at the 6-second mark of the opening period. Minnesota with the puck in the Leaf zone, but Derlego will bring it out. Derlego coming down, and Jim Korn is up on the play. The first shot on goal is grabbed by Beaupre, and with Korn in on top of him, he hangs onto it.
Now, this is Bill Mahoney's first opportunity to coach in Maple Leaf Gardens as a head coach. He was with Gary Green with the Washington Capitals. He looks forward to coming here, as a lot of friends in the Toronto area. In fact, forgot to turn his watch back and was late for the meeting, had to find himself.
The Leafs starting this hockey game have 1, 2, 3, 4 defensemen out there. Here's one of them. Salming faking the shot. Got it back in front. And the North Stars, 3 of them break out. There's going to be a penalty to Toronto. A shot right on, and Palmateer smothers the puck, hangs onto it. And now the Minnesota North Stars will go on the power play, but not for a little bit. Willie Plett is into it.
Jim Korn took offense to Willie Plett hitting Salming from behind. And so he went right after him, and he's doing a pretty good job. Remember, he had that shoulder injury.
Well, you know why they have Jim Korn, Gary, in the lineup, and you probably will guess why Plett has dressed for Minnesota. We're in for a long night, maybe. But Korn, as you rightly point out, is just back, having a separated shoulder, and he gets back up, and the fans here in Toronto give him a hand for his effort. Willie Plett is going to the penalty box, and so is Jim Korn of Toronto.
Captain of the North Stars. Toronto delayed penalty, and we're just waiting for the announcement of those penalties.
Derlego of Toronto is in the penalty box. He will be serving the minor penalty, the tripping penalty. It was after that, when the play had moved down into the Toronto zone and Palmateer had smothered the puck, that we got the majors.
Bob, players, we'll talk about that as soon as the announcement is over.
2 minutes for tripping, 5 minutes for fighting. Toronto penalty to number 19, Bill Derlego, 2 minutes for tripping. And number 20, Jim Korn, 5 minutes for fighting. Time 36 seconds. For Minnesota, Willie Plett, 2 minutes tripping, 5 minutes fighting.
So Plett got a minor penalty also.
2 minutes tripping, Jim Korn, 5 minutes.
You know, the
fighting.
players always complain about not having enough room on the bench because of all the players. Well, they're getting their wish now. A lot more room to throw those elbows around.
Again, the penalties at 6 seconds, Graham and Maxwell for fighting, and then Plett right here for tripping and a major, Derlego for tripping, and Korn a major. So the teams have 4 skaters out there, and here come the Leafs. It's shot in by Farish. There is no score. We've yet to hit the first minute of play in this opening period. Toronto and Minnesota going right at it. And the Leafs have the puck inside the line. From the blue line, a shot kicked out by Beaupre. Parrish had let her go. Jim Benning in his own zone. A neat play for Vive, starting him away with Daou. Vive to Daou. He is in. Score! The Toronto Maple Leafs are 8-4-1 when they score the first goal of the game, and Gary, that was a dandy.
Well, watch this play here. Defensively, the North Stars make a bad play. Two defensemen converge on Rick Vive. Roberts and Giles. Giles had Vive lined up. Roberts, he's got to go and take that man coming down the wing. Failed to do so, and Vive made a beautiful shift and threw it upstairs for the first goal of the game.
And Jim Benning, time 1:14.
That's the time, 1:14. Vive and Benning assisting on the 6th of the year for Dan Daou. 1-0 Toronto. McCarthy turning around for Minnesota to center ice with Broughton. Broughton going in. That'll be offside. McCarthy was in ahead of him. Now let's go to Brian McFarland for an NHL update.
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers have also scored early in the hockey game at Vancouver. 26 seconds into the game, Mark Howe from Bobby Clark right off the face-off. 1-0 Flyers over the Canucks at the 26-second mark.
Brian McFarland will continue to watch that game for you, and we'll have all the highlights right here. It's the Maple Leafs 1 and Minnesota no score. A minute and a half gone in the first period.
Here's the real line matchup that we're looking for tonight. Terrian's line against that high-flying trio of Broughton, Cicerelli, and McCarthy.
Toronto Maple Leafs leaving Broughton behind the Leaf goal. Up on the left side is Gavin from Salming. Gavin in back of the net. He can't move it. Gingras keeping it in. Gavin again poked it loose behind the goal, but the North Stars will bring it out. 1-0 Toronto. Minnesota's Broughton across center. Broughton having some difficulty as he hit the blue line. Now Broughton in control, slides it in front. The Leafs will clear it again. Salming coming down with Gingras carrying. He's got a good shot. He put it right on, and Beaupre made the glove save. Broughton was all the way back. McCarthy going out to the left side. Broughton nearly lost it in his own zone. Broughton is now drawing a penalty against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Greg Terrion. They have a few words they want to go at it. The play moves down inside the line, and they're going at it over there. Pair of sevens, Broughton and Terrion. Down to the ice they go, and Ron Hogarth will send in the linesman, and they'll try to break it up.
Is this supposed to be all-star wrestling tonight, or what's going on?
Well, they weren't kidding. They were throwing the punches. It happened, the Leafs were drawing a minor penalty to Terrion. A few words were spoken, and then a few punches were thrown. So they'll be going to the penalty box, but when we come back, the Leafs will be shorthanded on the minor penalty to Terrion.
2:25 for Minnesota, Neil Broden.
The announcement on the penalties.
For Toronto, Greg Terrion, 2 minutes high sticking, 5 minutes fighting.
It was a high sticking penalty to Terrion. So the time, 2:25. Broughton and Terrion also drawing majors.
Well, it's getting awfully crowded in that penalty box. As 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players now sit around and stand.
We have 2 Leafs in the aisle and behind the penalty box, and 1 North Star. So now we're set to go again. 1-0 Toronto. And the Minnesota North Stars with a man advantage. That's Hartsburg. Marouk is number 9. He swings to the left side. Puck is flipped in by him, and he hustles in after it. Derlego is back on the ice, and here he is shooting it away for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Minnesota has to go back. In the penalty to Terrion. 1 minute and 35 seconds left, with Minnesota trailing by a goal on the power play, and they're moving it now. To center, shooting it in. Derlego coming back. Missed it. But the Leafs hop on it anyway, and it's cleared down the ice by Dale McCourt. Now Minnesota starting away again. Bad play. McCourt in forechecking. will go after it. He's up there with Derlego trying to kill this penalty. The minor to Turion. North Stars bring it in. Long shot nowhere near Paul Matier. Bounces down across the line into the Minnesota zone again. Lindgren has it back of his own net. Lindgren, number 3. Drop back again. Back out to center. Coming up is Payne. His play up over the Leaf line. Minnesota going in after it. Payne was in front of the net, but the Leafs, Bill Harris, got a stick in the way and tipped it down.
That's really a tough pass to make from the corner right to the center ice and try to set up a teammate with all those blue jerseys in between.
Giles and Roberts now with only 20 seconds left in the Leaf penalty. Up to center ice. The North Stars. Acton bringing it in. Keith Acton. He's a hustler. Acton on the rim of the circle near the boards to Giles to Acton. Acton coming in. Nice play to the side of the net. Now Acton is pushed out of there. Bellows to Acton. Acton got in front. Could get a shot away. Paul Matier made a good play to clear. Anderson is on the ice now. Tyrion's penalty is over. Gavin in front to Harris. Harris again. Couldn't jam it in on the short side. But the Leafs came very close. They're going up by 2. They're leading 1-0. Bellows hit at the blue line by Anderson. Minnesota's Payne. Flipped it through. Bellows is dangerous. And a high grab by Mike Paul Matier. 5-2 the shots. Leafs for the advantage. They're up a goal. And here they come again. 5 taking the shot and couldn't go around the defenseman, Lars Lindgren. Bellows comes to center for Minnesota. 5 got back. Turning. 5 to Anderson. Anderson couldn't handle the hot pass. And 5 goes back. Regrouping for the Leafs again with Lehman on the defense with Salming. 1-0. They're nearing the 6-minute mark of the opening period. Lehman can't reach it. It's up across center. He was bumped. But falling on the play was Hartsburg. Minnesota clearing it. That's Hartsburg. Up to center. It's tipped down the ice. And Toronto Maple Leafs take over it again in their own zone to Anderson, down with 5 again. Anderson shot 5. Had to hustle to get out of the way of that drive. 1-0 Toronto. Minnesota on the move again. Pass near the line by McAdam. Didn't work. Coming in, Ferguson with a great save by Mike Paul Matier. That looked like a sure goal going to the far side, but Paul Matier was great on that one. Derlego, and he was spun around as he nearly got through. McAdams pass through the middle. Ferguson going off on a change, allowing McCourt to come in. Shot kicked out by Beaupre. Again near the blue line. Benning couldn't keep it in. He was given a shove by McAdam. Leafs pour it in again. Coming in, Derlego. Couldn't pick it up. McAdam has it. Tipped into the line for Minnesota, and here's McAdam to center. His long pass into McCarthy, and Derlego on it again. Derlego swinging back in with McCourt, and the shot stopped by Beaupre. Great action now, but the Leafs are bringing it right to Minnesota. The North Stars trying to get even, come in, and they're offside. With a score, Toronto 1 and Minnesota 0. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. A sign be posted on the electronic scoreboard. Prediction for tomorrow. And you know what that might be? Of course, BC over Toronto. And the fans responded they did not like it, though. Again, we go to Brian McFarland for this NHL update.
The Vancouver Canucks have tied it at the Pacific Coliseum. The play will develop from the corner. Watch Thomas Brodin dig it out. Get it back to Harold Snepps right here. Here's the pass to Snepps coming up. And Stan Smeal in front of the net gets his foot in front, and it deflects off a skate into the net. Tied at 1 in Vancouver.
Billy Harris coming in for Toronto. The Leafs lead here 1-0, nearing the 8-minute mark of the opening period. Minnesota unable to solve the Maple Leafs back-checking. And together with their forechecking, Gary, they're causing some confusion for Minnesota North Stars.
Well, most of the plays are coming out of the corner up the middle. The North Stars haven't been able to watch that play, and the Leafs are having an excellent time of it getting out of their own end because of that pass.
Again, the North Stars, Cicerelli shooting it in. Stewart is the first one back. He's on the boards in control. Cicerelli is after him, though. Gingras trying to help out. The North Stars keep it in. Maxwell gets set. Didn't get the pass. It was shoveled in by Hartsburg harmlessly. And the Leafs back out. Here's Gavin speeding in. Gavin shot. Rebound. They score. Gavin was really flying, but Gingras played it very, very smartly. He was right in a great position to pick up the rebound.
Stuart Gavin has a lot of speed, but you notice that Stewart waits for him, and then watch that change of pace. Away he goes. Keep an eye on Gingras coming late. Now, the North Stars are coming back, but the guy, he's just watching the play in the corner. He doesn't even pay any attention to Gingras. Just skating beside him doesn't mean that you're covering him. Boy, you got to take that man.
7:48 from Stuart Gavin and Bill Stewart. Time 7:48.
Stewart also got an assist, as did Gavin, with that shot. The rebound set up for Gingras. And we're getting more penalties now.
Now we've had 36 minutes in penalty up to this point. And again, a crowd draws a lot around Mike Palmateer.
So while Ron Hogarth straightens this one out, Gingras' goal, and we're going to show you that scoring play again.
All right, now keep an eye on Gavin. He does get a good burst of speed. Now look at the middle of your screen there. Defensively, the North Stars are attracted by the puck in the corner. Instead of looking around, see if he can pick somebody up. All he had to do is get in front of Gingras, and there's no way he scores on the play. Beaupre makes an excellent play coming out the challenge, but then he needs a little help.
And now the penalties.
Keep your eye in front of the net.
Acton.
And Acton heads for the penalty box. So now the Leafs on the power play.
Keith Acton, 2 minutes for interference. Toronto penalty to number 29, Mike Palmateer, 2 minutes for slashing. Time 8:04.
Now the Leafs won't be on the power play because Palmateer also drew a penalty.
Palmateer for slashing, Minnesota. Shot by Lindgren. Didn't get through. Jim Corn is serving the penalty for Palmateer. It's 2-0 Toronto. Now coming out with Parrish and Vine. Broken up at the line. Back for Minnesota. Giles up on the play. And the puck go by. But there's the shot right on. Mellows really walked into it, but Palmateer has made 2 tremendous saves with that glove hand, Gary.
Now, Palmateer has had a lot of success here at Maple Leaf Gardens, plays a strong game in his own building. Keep an eye on as he makes the save and then covers up the rebound. Good goaltending at Palmateer. He came out the challenge. He wasn't deep in his crease.
That scoring play again that sent the Leafs up 2-0. Gingras from Gavin and Stewart, 7:48. Dow got the first goal, 5 and Benning. An important game for these two teams. They're battling out for first place in the Norris Division, along with Chicago, along with Detroit. Only 2 points behind the Leafs and Chicago. Minnesota with 23. A 1-point lead. The Toronto Maple Leafs trying to do something about that now and stop the North Stars. Long shot from the blue line by Lawton was on, and Palmateer had little difficulty hanging onto it.
Well, with all the injuries to the Maple Leafs, the job became available to Dale McCourt, and Mike Nicolak said he has done more than has been asked, and he has really fit in well. He's doing the job offensively, doing a pretty good job checking, and we'll hear more from Dale McCourt in the first intermission.
2-0 Toronto. Salming starting up to the blue line with a pass, hitting Derlego. He was stopped, and now he has it again. Derlego's shot hit the side of the net. Crowd thought maybe it was the 3rd goal for the Leafs, but he grazed the post and hit the side of the net. Baruch coming back, lost it at the Leaf blue line. Turning is Derlego. Here he comes. Derlego right back out to center, playing well in this first period. Derlego pushed off the puck. Here's McCourt scaling it. McCourt takes a look around, sees Salming. Salming shooting. That's right on, and Beaupre blocked it, and he doesn't want to take a chance. So the goaltender comes sliding out, stopping that shot from Salming, and smothers it. Bob Cole and Gary Dornhofer at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Minnesota, and the Leafs.
Strategy certainly for the Leafs is to try and skate as quickly as possible, put as much pressure on Minnesota. Remember, they played a fast skating game against the Oilers. Have to be a little tired. They only got in sometime after 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's 2-0 Toronto, nearing the halfway mark of this opening period. And it's Giles for Minnesota. Tried to hit McCarthy, but the puck off the boards to center ice, and the Leafs have it again. Benning reaching for it. He was bumped by McCarthy, and Giles for Minnesota. Soft pass to the far side, handed back to him. Giles finds his way through over the Leaf line. Tried to clear it in front. It hit a skate. Anderson was in the way. And coming back out, Preacher with Anderson on the move. He tried to hit Anderson, but he had stopped near the blue line and then couldn't control that lead pass. Stewart for Salming. Salming over center. Penalized players active. Horn is back on. Salming going in. Backhand shot stopped by Beaupre. Salming with a burst of speed nearly went in. Now the Leafs, they have to wait till Anderson cleared the blue line, so they go all the way back. Therion didn't anticipate that pass from Stewart. North Stars shoot it in. Stewart back to the net. Acton chasing him. Stewart hounded by Acton. Therion is in there to help out. Leafs lead 2-0 as Therion skates to center. Therion's pass to Gavin. He has to shoot it off in a hurry to the corner. Around the net it goes. Graham has it. Acton has him. They hold it on the boards. Now it bounces loose, and Graham comes up with the puck. Graham back to Salming. Salming kept it in for Therion. Therion muscled away from the puck by Mandic. Couldn't clear it, though. Salming again. Just missed it. And Acton comes out to center ice. Acton and Bellows go in. Acton gets set. He's knocked down finally, and the Leafs clear it out of the zone. 11.5 minutes gone in the first period. 2-0 Toronto. Payne shoots it in. Given a jolt by Salming. Salming in after the loose puck, and he comes up with it from the corner to Anderson. Out with Gingras 5. That's Anderson picking his way in. Anderson driving for the net to Gingras. And that just failed to click. With Hartsburg standing in front of him, he picked off the pass. Leafs are onside as 5 was speeding in, looking for that lead pass. He was behind everybody, but ahead of the play, and it was called on the offside. 8 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the first period. 2-0 Toronto Maple Leafs as Maxwell for Minnesota. It's Ferguson near center. Anderson nearly poked it away from him. Now Anderson is in forechecking against Lindgren. The Leafs come in fast. Horn back of the net with it. Went off Daou's skate into the corner. Ferguson back out with Plett. They shoot it in. Here comes Plett and Ferguson. Ferguson dropped it for Plett. Plett near the blue line now. Horn after him. He is staying close to Plett. Daou back in for the Leafs. Couldn't go in. And the North Stars take over. Daou was pushed around a bit by Maxwell. There's Maxwell. Daou after him. Got a piece of him. Anderson. He grazed the goal post. Leafs nearly got another one. They're leading 2-0. But that shot by Corn deflected by Plett. It's into the crowd. And here's Brian McFarland again with an NHL update.
The Vancouver Canucks have gone ahead of Philadelphia in the first period. Goal coming up here by Stan Smyl, his second of the game, second of the period, and his 9th of the year from Rota and Bubla. Came at 11:53 against the Flyers. There's your score, 2-1 Canucks in front.
And back here in Toronto, Gary, I think we're getting more penalties.
One thing the Leafs are doing very effectively, they're making contact with the Minnesota North Stars. Wherever that puck is shot in, boy, they're arriving, Bob, and that's the name of the game. And they have the North Stars frustrated at this point.
Now, I said we'd be getting more penalties. The referee made one sign down there. Maybe he was just saying, come on, let's break it up and move out of here. And I think that is the case. There's the referee, Ron Hogarth.
Well, I had an opportunity watching the Leafs win in Minnesota on Wednesday night, and they just had the North Stars bottled up in their end through most of the contest, and it was just strong forechecking. You know, they were dumping the puck in at the right time and had both wingers going in full flight and make contact with the man in the corner. That's what they're doing tonight again.
Parrish broke up a play. Broughton, Cicerelli, and McCarthy trying to get it going for Minnesota. They're trailing 2-0. And it's McCarthy and Cicerelli. Cicerelli is jammed out of the play by Benning. Paul Matier out of the net for Freacher. Freacher with Tyrion and Gavin, the leaf line. And it's Freacher finding some room to center ice. Freacher tried to stick handle through and couldn't. He was stopped by the two defensemen. Roberts for Minnesota. Behind the net, stopping there. That's Freacher and Gavin, the two deep men for Toronto. And there goes Gavin after the puck carrier. But it was cleared to Broughton across center. He's okay. Dropping it back. Cicerelli and had it poked away by Benning. A good play by Jim Benning.
There's the difference. Benning looked around to see who was coming late. He saw Cicerelli. It just met him one-on-one. Good play defensively.
Cicerelli has been hot for the Minnesota North Stars. He's their leading scorer.
All right, let's keep an eye on this one, and a lot of communication has to take place. You talk to your defensive partner. Look at Benning. He sizes up the play, gets that stick out there. If he would have missed the poke check, I'm sure he would have taken Cicerelli physically. Just look him in the shoulder, between the two shoulders, and take him out. That's good defense.
Dale McCord, the most productive lead scorer on this past road trip. He had 6 points, 3 and 3. And he's on there now. The draw to Minnesota, though. The shot from the blue line. That's by Hartsburg and wide. Harris hitting McCourt. McCourt trying to go in. McCourt stops near the line. Set it up by the North Stars. Swing back out with it. That's Marouk coming in. Dropping it to Lott. His shot. And Paul Matier covering on the short side. Hangs on to it. Only the 7th shot on goal by Minnesota so far in the first period. The Leafs have had 12, and they're leading 2-0.
Well, Greg Hartsburg got off to professional hockey at an early start. 18, joined the World Hockey. His 5th year now in the National Hockey League. And the scouting report on Hartsburg: strengths, strong skater, excellent puck carrier, good shot from the point. Real team leader.
And it's from the blue line. McAdam was left alone in front of the net, and that shot from the blue line that Paul Matier grabbed, but he couldn't hang on to it, and the rebound was there.
Well, we saw the Flyers score a goal from a face-off, and now it's Minnesota's turn. They're so very important, but Al McAdam was left uncovered in front of the net, and he got his own rebound, but the draw is so very important. Keep an eye on 25 now. McCourt was with him and then skated away from him. And if you're going to stay with a man, stay with him all the time.
Dan Mandich and number 9, Dennis Marouk. Time 13:49.
So 13:49. The Minnesota North Stars get on the board, and now they trail the Leafs by just 1. McAdam from Mandich and Marouk, and here come the Leafs again, led by Harris. Couldn't center it. Derlego went in there to help. Well, the North Stars will clear it out across the line. That's Hartsburg coming in. Dropping in near the line. Marouk shot. And that was wide. Minnesota keeping it in, though. Derlego again picking it up to bring it out with McCourt on the move. McCourt bumped as he crossed the line. He's knocked down. Fans holler for a penalty, but the North Stars will clear it out. And the play goes right on to center ice. Spun around at the line was Lawton. Again, McCourt. And catching up, that's 5. He put the brakes on. 5 has it. 5 left it near the line. Now hooked it off to the corner. And Minnesota's Maxwell was back there. He hammered one on the boards to center ice. Toronto 2, Minnesota 1. Leafs clearing it again. Near the line, Daou had a chance to move it out. Acton was there quickly, though. Payne went in after it. The goaltender, Paul Matier, moved it over on the boards. It comes to center. Daou coming in. Daou and Anderson. Here comes Anderson. Whipped and pass and behind everybody. Stewart's weak shot hit a skate. Daou on it very quickly. Back to Korn. He'll get a drive. Didn't shoot it. Anderson right in. Down goes Beaupre. And he hangs on to it. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto 2 and Minnesota 1 with 4:25 left of the period. John Anderson of the Leafs coming very close to getting a goal. But Beaupre stopped him on the close-in backhander. Down the ice it goes. Icing is called against Minnesota.
Well, you mentioned backhander. You know, Anderson had a chance to shoot it on his forehand, and he went to his backhand. And, you know, that's the thing. If a player has an opportunity of shooting the puck when he's on his forehand, why not stay there? Let's look at that goal by the North Stars on the draw, and then everybody supposed to take their man. Well, somehow Al McAdam was left unprotected. Good deflection. Paul Matier out of position. He got the rebound, and in it goes.
So McAdam, the Minnesota goal, Daou and Gingras for the Maple Leafs. Let's pass to Ferguson. Ferguson tried to pull his way through. He was knocked down. Stewart was all over him. And the Leafs cleared it down the ice. Beaupre stopping that one. 3:55 left in the opening period. 2-1 Toronto. Flett has to stop near center. Now he shoots it in. Paul Matier will stop it for Benning. Benning and Farish on the Leaf defense. Daou moving out with Anderson. He missed it. Minnesota's Broughton shooting it back in. Ashton was going to the bench at the far side. Didn't anticipate that open ice. The puck gone in. Preacher coming out. Preacher all alone, knocked down near center. And Minnesota's Mandich played it ahead to the Leaf line where Farish flipped it back. Broughton tossed it back to the blue line, and Mandich again lugging it to center. Play becomes a little scrappy now between the two blue lines with 3:10 left in the period, and the Leafs leading by a goal. Minnesota in possession is Mandich. A pass to Hartsburg. Hartsburg coming in. Nearly got through, and he kicked it with his skate, and Paul Matier wants to hang on to it. He does.
Well, for Coach Mike Nikoluk, sometimes he wonders if he has enough players to fill the roster. Tonight, going with 10 forwards, 8 defensemen, and the 2 goaltenders. But somehow the Leafs tend to hang in there. They played well in this first period. They've registered 13 shots on net to Minnesota's 8.
2:57 to play in the period. Broughton got the draw. A quick shot, nowhere near the net, and Salming on it. McCarthy with Broughton and Cicerelli. The dangerous line on there now for Minnesota. Therion getting through. He's knocked down. There's going to be a penalty to the Minnesota North Stars as Therion was hustling in, and he draws a penalty. Minnesota's Lindgren, I think, will be the man going off. There he goes.
I'll keep an eye on Therion as he goes along the right side of the boards, and he gives that little extra effort, and then just to make sure it goes down to draw that penalty against Lars Lindgren.
The court with Gerlego and Preacher, the line up front for Toronto. That is Gordy Roberts losing it to Preacher. Coming in as McCourt to help. McCourt knocked it loose, got it back again. McCourt comes in front, sliding it through the crease. Salming pinching in. Slides it in front, it went by Preacher. Acton will clear it down the ice for Minnesota. Lindgren has 1:35 left in his penalty. Salming comes back. Leafs on the power play, leading by a goal. It's 2-1. Gerlego to the left side, Preacher to the right. Salming shoots it in. Here comes Preacher. Preacher in the corner. Gerlego goes behind the net. Gerlego had it hop over his stick. Acton trying to clear it for the Minnesota North Stars. That is Giles. He looks for the opening, finds it over there, and shoots it away.
Now, the power play has certainly been the strength of the Maple Leafs. They lead the league in the most power play goals in 33, and in percentage, they're 5th.
5 shot. It was deflected. It had hit Hartsburg's stick. The Beaupre had the angle covered, and he held on to it with 5. Always dangerous, cruising in from that right side.
Now, before we had talked about Cicerelli, the leading scorer of the North Stars this year with 28 points, we look at Rick Vaive. He now leads the Maple Leafs in scoring, 17 goals, and we're still waiting for that booming slap shot till he starts connecting from long range. He's been throwing his weight around a lot more, Bob, because he's been harassed time and time again, and I think because of the scoring now of McCourt's line, that takes a little bit of heat off of Daou's line. That should give him some open ice to work with.
Here comes Benning. Benning couldn't get a shot on the net, but he put it in behind the goal for Anderson. Anderson along the boards. Daou was knocked down. The North Stars shoot it away with 35 seconds left in the penalty to Lindgren. The Maple Leafs organized to give it one more shot. Here they come. 30 seconds left on the penalty, and they're in on the power play. Anderson with 5. Anderson got away from that check. Tossed it back in front. Comes back to Benning. Benning cuts for the net. Slides it through the crease. Hit Anderson's skate. Benning to Anderson. Back to the line. Farish. A drive. Knocked down. And the North Stars hang on. They'll clear it. With 8 seconds left on the penalty to Lindgren, it's Ferguson batting on it. Leafs move it up again. Daou and 5. There goes 5, and he's got the pass. 5 hauled down. Another penalty coming up to Minnesota North Stars just as Lindgren was on the ice. 5 was nearly home free, and he was hauled down.
Well, now you can understand why the Leafs do so well in the power play. I mean, that was good, persistent effort by every guy that was on the ice. They worked the corners. And on this replay, you're going to see how to draw penalties. You skate for the opening, make the guy haul you down. Hartsburg had to do that. And again, the Leafs will try their luck at the power play.
Brad Maxwell for hooking. Time 19:22.
My mistake. Maxwell gets the penalty, but I thought it was Hartsburg that should have got it.
Now Hartsburg is coming over.
There will be a change. All right, we got the right guy, Greg Hartsburg.
Correction, the Minnesota penalty was to number 4, Craig Hartsburg.
That's right. And it's 19:22, the time. Hartsburg in the penalty box. Salming leading the Leafs power play now to the corner. Preacher stands to one side. It goes to the big circle. Preacher was in the right spot to knock it down. Preacher to the corner. Back of the net, McCord dragging it to Preacher. Looks to Salming at the blue line. Shoots. Hit the goal post. Another shot. Deflected high. They came very, very close.
It's like Beaupre was saying a little prayer after those 2 shots. But the North Stars kept the Leafs to the outside, and from quite an angle, Preacher lets that one ride and catches the crossbar. And Beaupre had to scramble to get himself in position for a blast by Gingras from the point that deflected over the net and into the crowd.
Right off the crossbar and right back down in front. But the North Stars hang on. They keep it out. Only 14 seconds left in the period now. And Minnesota is shooting it down the ice. That might do it. Paul Mathieu stopped it. And coming out, Gingras. Gingras shot. A high one over the glass into the crowd just as the horn goes to end the period. The shots by Toronto 16 and by Minnesota 8. Stand by now. We're going to this week in the NHL. We're ready for the second period. Leafs on the power play. That's Farish backing up. Acton is a penalty killer. In watching him, there's Acton after him. The pass goes ahead. Benning shoots it in. Dowell went in for checking. Couldn't come up with it. Farish pinching in does. Anderson back of the net. Dowell with him. Anderson takes a look. Waits. Trying to hook it in front, and Beaupre went down, and he held on to it. So more scores around the league. Now, Gary, keep us going here and up to date.
Well, in our update game, Smeal has a couple, and Howe for Philadelphia. Tucker, 4 goals in 4 games since being called up from the Kitchener Rangers. Housley has his 12th. Slager and Goulet have scored. And the Blues ahead of the Edmonton Oilers. You understand that Curry has scored a goal, and you can bet that Gretzky has an assist on it.
And you can also bet that Sutter is probably in on a scoring play for St. Louis.
Sutter has one. Brian Sutter and Dory the other one. Blues lead 2-1.
And here with 45 seconds left in the Minnesota penalty, the Leafs moving down. They're up 2-1. Anderson going in. Acton speeding back, picks it off, cleared it to Bellows, not out. Benning kept it in. Benning poked it into Anderson to Farish. To Anderson, shot, score! Well, they passed the puck around so beautifully on that power play. They're a little over 27% effective on a power play, these Maple Leafs, and now they get another one. It's 3-1.
Well, the good passing play, and there's quite a mix-up in front of the net, but Beaupre was deep in his net. You're going to see it on this replay, and I don't really think he screened on the play, Bob. It's quite an angle, and you really expect your goaltender to make the save from that position. But it went right through the legs, and it's given the Leafs a 3-1 lead. But good puck control is what you talk about. Look at all the time that Anderson has to unload it. The goaltender's got to make that save.
Right through the legs. That's number 12 of the season for Anderson. Parrish and Benning drawing assists. 54 seconds the time of the goal. So Toronto leads 3-1. Minnesota now. Down a pair, and Lindgren goes back of the net. Hammered it on the boards. Leaves in forechecking. But the North Stars come in. It's dropped back near the line. Toronto trying to clear. McCord is on the boards against Cicerelli. They get it back on Nick that McAdam. Number 25. The Leafs in again. Harris. Shot good. When you're hot, you're hot. That shot was blocked by Beaupre. Got a piece of it. That's all. And it dribbled in.
Now, this line has certainly caught fire, but again, Bob, watch where Harris shoots it from. He's out top of the circle, not screened on the play. Beaupre does get a piece of it, just dribbles over the line. But again, Harris has got all kinds of time to unload it. So the job of checking certainly isn't being done by the Minnesota North Stars.
And Bill Derlego, time 1:25.
1:25, Derlego and Stewart getting assists. Minnesota in. They're offside, and the play is called from Maple Leaf Gardens. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Team in the hunt for first place in this Norris division, the Chicago Blackhawks, appear to be well on their way to losing tonight, Gary. They're behind New York Islanders 8-1 at this moment. And the Leafs here are leading Minnesota 4-1. Minnesota's McCarthy. Down goes Paul Matier. And made a nice save. Terrion for the Leafs, back with Preacher getting the pass, and he was offside. Just a shade, and it is called at the Minnesota blue line.
Well, let's have a look at Billy Harris's goal. Again, the North Stars back up, and Harrison fires it from the top of the circle. Beaupre, he was out challenging that time. You can't fault him for that. He got a piece of it, but just couldn't handle it as it dribbled over the line.
You hear the crowd being aroused again. Another sign up on the electronic scoreboard here at Maple Leaf Gardens, signaling that tomorrow Toronto will lose. Tonight, in hockey, they're winning. Long shot by Gingras, grabbed by Beaupre.
Of course, Harold Ballard is enjoying every single minute of it.
Told me this morning he really believes Hamilton should be out there, not Toronto. That is not the case, of course. The Argos are there, and you can hear the Argo fans here in the building now. Listen. So, Mr. Ballard, you're outnumbered a wee bit. They're up the 2-minute mark of the second period. McCarthy for Minnesota can't move it out, nor can Hartsburg, but he'll try it again. Hartsburg played it ahead to Broughton. Broughton and Cicerelli coming down on that right side. McCarthy is in, Broughton is in, and his shot is wide. McCarthy on the rebound, but the Leafs shoot it down the ice. Preacher is racing against Hartsburg. He'll beat up to it. It's slapped away back in front of the net. Goal! That's Gavin upended as he tried to pick it up. Here's Terrion. Terrion in the slot. Can't get a shot. Terrion, though to Gingras. Watch this. Drive. Rebound. And Preacher is covered by Hartsburg. You almost get scared when you see Gingras wind up to let her go, because he can really do it. Preacher has it. Penalty coming up against Minnesota. Kicked out by Beaupre. McCarthy will sweep it away. And here's the penalty call. Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Doing a number, Terrion, Preacher, and Gavin. Quite a good job of forechecking. Finally, Hartsburg takes a slashing penalty.
Coming, of course, from being frustrated by the relentless forechecking of the Maple Leafs on that last surge. The Leafs are up by 3 goals. Hartsburg is in the penalty box. Toronto on the power play again. Minute 40 left on the power play as Anderson slides it into Benning. The Leafs are in offside as Daou, he was 6-7 feet inside the line.
Now there's Hartsburg sitting in the penalty box, and we will continue with our other town scores. Boston, a 6-2 victory over New Jersey. Look at those Islanders running, and I guess Bossy is on the scoreboard. He now has 19 goals.
Bossy got 2 tonight.
Rogers and LaRouche for the Rangers, Turgeon and Johnson for Hartford.
Lambert, Obrodnik, Brad Smith, and Boldarev for Detroit in that game. Daou comes back for Toronto. Hartsburg in the penalty box. He was off at the start of this period. The Leafs got a power play goal. Anderson's 12th of the season. And the Leafs are coming in again. Bellows going over. Daou slapped it against the boards. Here's a chance for Anderson. Had another one. He rifled it wide. He had the open side. Now Benning takes a look at Ferry. Benning shoots himself. Hit a leg and bounced away from Beaupre. Acton shoots into center. Tried to hit Bellows. Daou has it. Daou near center. Picks his way in slowly. The Leafs are in across the line. It's dropped back near the blue line. Acton will clear it. And the Leafs have to come back on side. Daou again. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Here's Vive coming in. And Beaupre with a glove save as Vive got a wrist shot away going for that far side.
Well, the Leafs are driving. You know, very confident hockey club. This hasn't been a favorite place of the Minnesota North Stars. Their record over the years, Leafs have won 26 games, only lost 8, tied 9. And so when you keep beating teams in your home ice, you gain a lot of confidence. But let's watch again as the Leafs apply a lot of pressure in the North Stars end of the ice. Good, crisp passing and shooting. You know, as we look at Beaupre, he's a little bit unlucky because in that first period, 2 defensive mistakes resulted in goals.
Salming faked the shot. Derlego to Gingras. Slides it in. They pass that puck around again very well inside the line, but now it's cleared down the ice by McAdam. And Salming has to come back. 15 seconds left on the power play for Toronto. It's 4-1 Maple Leafs. That's Derlego coming in. Derlego to Freacher. Across the line. Freacher in front. Nearly paid off for Derlego. McCourt let it slide back to Salming. Penalty is over. McCourt gets in. Weak backhander stopped by Beaupre. Derlego to Salming. To Derlego. To Gingras. Shot. High drive on the glass. McCourt is tied up by Ferguson. And the North Stars get it back to center. Hartsburg is coming in. He's knocked down. A penalty coming up against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So Hartsburg out of the penalty box going in on an offensive drive was hooked from behind, and the Leafs are penalized.
Greg Hartsburg has been noted as an offensive defenseman. Whenever the opportunity presents itself, he's going to go and do the job. Salming had to haul him down.
And now, Gary, you have to say that Minnesota almost has to score on this power play if they're going to do much with the Maple Leafs tonight, because the Leafs have been skating very well and forechecking like demons.
Well, the North Stars are 6th in the National Hockey League in power play percentage, so they know how to get the job done.
It's 4-1 Toronto. 1:40 left on this power play, and Stewart breaks it up and pushes it back in. Offside is called. The Leafs are offside.
But before I had mentioned about Beaupre being a little unlucky in the first period, and he was because of a couple of defensive lapses. Now, you had to fault him on the 2 goals that got by him in this second period, but that hasn't changed his game style any, as he keeps coming out to challenge the shooters. So he hasn't let that frustrate him anyway. Of course, he wants to put on a good show. He was born in Waterloo, Ontario. A lot of family and friends watching tonight.
Terry on for Toronto, and Stewart is 17. Billy Harris, the other penalty killer up front, 15. Jim Cord back in action again after a dislocated shoulder, number 20. And the North Stars with Broughton, 7. Sliding it over to Maxwell, 5. Terry on picks it up and hooked one out to center ice. Harris will shoot it in the Minnesota zone. The play is called. Again, offside.
Now, there's quite a battle going on as we look at Maxwell, one of 9 draft picks by the Minnesota North Stars. Terrion gets motivated when he has to have his line go against the top line of the opposition. You know, we talked to him today, and he just loves that. Some guys enjoy scoring goals. Terrion loves to be responsible in stopping the opposition. If you keep that top line of Broughton, McCarthy, and Cicerelli off the scoreboard, hey, that's a pretty good night's work.
Well, Broughton is the extra man on the point on this power play, so Marook goes in to take center ice spot between Cicerelli and McCarthy. Maxwell, the other man, and he is coming back for it. Maxwell, number 5, 1:15 left on the penalty to Salming, and Minnesota starting out, trailing by 3 goals. On the power play to center is Marook. Marook coming in, dropped it back near the point to Marook again in the corner. McCarthy comes in, he steals it. McCarthy with Cicerelli waiting there to the side of the net, but Broughton gets the pass, slides it to Maxwell to Broughton. Now to Cicerelli, now to Broughton to Cicerelli. Cicerelli will come back again to Broughton, to Cicerelli. They're killing a lot of time. 40 seconds left on the penalty. Shot by Maxwell. Knocked down in front and cleared by the Maple Leafs.
The Leafs don't mind that at all. Keep passing on the outside of the perimeter. You can do that all night. You have to get some shots. And you look at the shot total, North Stars with 9 shots on net. You don't win games that way.
Broughton coming in now. Broughton stops, slides it to the far side. Marook into the corner. Terrion is back there. Again, Bellows. Bellows gets in good shape. Played it to the side. He scored. Marook got the play from Bellows. And I think Paul Mateer, Gary, was expecting a shot from Bellows.
Well, Marook, as soon as he slid that puck past Paul Mateer, he took quite a shot from behind.
Parrish hit him.
Was it Parrish that got him? But Bellows, he's such a heady hockey player, and you're going to see it on this power play. The North Stars finally get a good opportunity, but Bellows last year put on quite a show as a rookie, and he's carried that performance into this season, and a good setup to Marook.
So there's Parrish, number 28. He comes into the picture, throws a check into Marook, and he's been shaken up.
For the first time.
Has a power play goal now tonight with Marook's goal, his 6th of the season from Bellows and Lindgren. And it's 4-2. 5 is on there with Dow and Anderson for Toronto. Payne wearing number 44 now with Bellows and Acton, the line for Minnesota. Salming back on the defense. Played it to the far corner. It's chopped out to center ice. Roberts stops it. Feeds it ahead. Here comes Payne with Acton. Bellows in front of the net. Trying to set it up for him. But it was deflected away by Paul Mateer, and the Leafs clearing down the ice too far for Salming. Just failed to reach it, and Roberts has it for Minnesota. Nearing the 8-minute mark of the second period. 4-2 Maple Leafs. Now then Bellows shooting it in. Anderson will be back first. Fired one high on the glass, and it ricochets by Hartsburg down to the Minnesota blue line. Stars again trying to organize, but they're changing now. Puck is fired in, and it's offside, and they'll make changes. Both teams likely.
John Anderson scoring a goal tonight. He has now scored goals in 4 consecutive games, so he's on kind of a streak. As we look at Beaupre doing a little house cleaning, there's Anderson.
The Leaf offense lately has picked up as they've scored more than 3 goals in their last 3 games coming in, and now you can count this one. So they're scoring. Inicek is expected back sometime next week. He skated today.
You know, the way the game is played today, you have to score. You're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Lawton on there with Marook again. Marook has a goal. He took a shot. And that was wide. And the Leafs, 2 of them come back. That's Harris getting loose. Harris dropping it in front. Oh! Grazed the goalpost with that shot. He nearly had another on the short side. Here's an NHL update now with Brian McFarland.
While we watch a couple of veterans team up for the tying goal in Vancouver, Sittler to Rick McLeish for the goal, Jim Robson has announced that the Philadelphia Flyers will be sold so the Snyder family can buy the Philadelphia Eagles of the NFL. How about that, fellas?
Well, what we do know is that the Maple Leafs are not for sale. Harold Ballard down there has been very, very patient with this team. And they have come along. Into this season, they have looked brighter. Stewart for Toronto. Solving shot. Knocked down in front of the net. Therion got it back. Here's Stewart's screen shot. And that's deflected over the glass into the crowd behind on Beaupre.
Waited a little bit too long. You know, a defenseman thinks he has to put the puck through the net from the point. Stewart, all he had to do was wrist shot, get it sliding somewhere near the crease, look for a deflection because the Leafs had a couple of guys around the net, and that's all it would take. But right now, Stewart is certainly doing the job defensively. He has the best plus-minus of the Blue Liners.
Rotten up the draw back to Roberts. Roberts again coming out. McCarthy to the left side. Broughton got the pass. Nearly ran into a check. Solving was out to meet him. Had him lined up. Didn't hit him, though. Stewart from the corner to Preacher. And Preacher's away. Cicerelli chasing him. Preacher going to the ice. No penalty, though. And Giles is back for Roberts. Roberts pass. Cicerelli coming in. Solving knocked him down. Cicerelli slapped it in behind the net, and Paul Matier is bumped by McCarthy as he left the crease. Preacher again for Toronto coming out. Comes to center with Gavin. There's Preacher's pass. It went by Mandich. Gavin after him. Hammered him in on the boards. Leafs keep him in. Some pushing and shoving over there. With Gavin coming up with a loose puck. Gavin and Preacher, both of them behind the net. And Gavin finally stopped by Roberts in the corner. But Preacher has it. Preacher stops. To the other side, try to jam it in. Preacher again leaving it for Therion. Leafs all over Minnesota now, forcing the play. Preacher's grabbed, spun around. Preacher has it. It's knocked loose again to McCarthy for Minnesota. Couldn't clear it. Preacher is stopped. 2-on-1 break. Broughton going in with Cicerelli. Broughton faking. And he went in too far. It's centered. Comes all the way back to the line. Here comes Gavin. He had his man. McCarthy covered. And the Leafs. Preacher firing on that long shift. What a shot in on the net, though. Beaupre stopped it. Minnesota flying in. This is Acton. Kick the rebound. Hit the goalpost. Great action now. Minnesota coming close. They're right in again. Paul Matier down, made a big save. Another shot wide. And now the Leafs are just hanging on. Another 2-on-1. Can you believe it? Goal coming in. Centering pass. Tipped away from Vibe at the last second. They go from end to end. Wide open here at the halfway mark of the second period. Minnesota again shooting it down.
Well, we've got good end-to-end rushes that you mentioned, Bob, but also some good contact is being made by both teams.
Hartsburg couldn't wait long enough. Minnesota offside. Now to Brian McFarland again, and another NHL update.
The Philadelphia Flyers have taken the play away from the Vancouver Canucks. Second period action at the Pacific Coliseum. The Flyers on the attack. Man to watch, here's Brian Propp, who will score the goal that puts the Flyers ahead by 3-2. Here's Propp's shot, 11:06, second period, 3-2 Flyers.
Now the last couple of lines that the North Stars have sent out have harassed Paul Matier time and time again. So let's look at the little guy as he tends net. Watch him moving from side to side. That's the one that grazed the goalpost with Paul Matier out of position. Close call for the North Stars.
Toronto has outshot Minnesota 7-4 in the second period, but Minnesota has been coming on now in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Lawton is on the ice again. He is wearing number 98 over on that far right wing. As he comes in now with Marook, and there he is. Got a pass back in front, and Harris was back for Toronto. Around the net he goes. Lawton watching him. It's cleared to center. Lawton has it. In with Marook. Marook's pass back to the line. Palmetier covering up. Lawton went after his man, Jim Korn. Korn got it as far as the line. Marook against Palmetier. Palmetier, the goaltender, bumped a bit. And Korn goes in to watch the Minnesota North Star forward. There he is. Korn lining him up. Pushed him over on the boards. The two players go to the ice. And the puck comes back to the center ice area. And now It's called. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Folks at home think it's easy to be a goaltender. Have a look at this as Marouk collides with Paul Matier, and down he goes. That's why goaltenders are the highest paid of all team members. They take a terrible beating.
Paul Matier standing up to it at this moment. He has allowed 2 goals to Minnesota tonight. The Leafs have scored 4. 8 minutes to play in the second period. And now Derlego with Harris and Stewart, along with McCord and Stallman. They can't move it out first try. Stewart tries it again. Gets it up to center ice. Here comes McCord. He's in. Tried to pass it over. Gets another shot at it. And it's grabbed quickly by Lindgren. Minnesota, 4 of them to center ice. Maxwell. He's in. Dropping it to McCarthy, and a shot 10 feet wide of the net. Lindgren back to center. 7:20 left in the period. Maxwell fades to his own line, gives it to Lindgren. He shoveled it out over the blue line to center ice, and Stewart saw his man, Harris, who fired it in. Maxwell against Therion. Maxwell fell. Puck is loose. Leafs in on top of it, but Broughton sweeps it away to Ciccarelli. Coming in, Broughton and Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli tied up, can't get a shot. Preacher gave it away. Lindgren shot. Knocked down, and Paul Matier diving out, grabs it, and hangs on. This program is copyright and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, is strictly prohibited.
Bob, just prior to that, Stuart Gavin made an excellent defensive play. He hustled back. He was about 15 feet behind Ciccarelli, caught him, took him out of the play. A giveaway allowed Minnesota a shot on net, but boy, did he ever come back. And that's why Nick Luck thinks the world of that young fellow. You can't be measured by goals and assists. Gavin helps your hockey club in other ways.
Acton, Bellows, and Payne. Another good save by Paul Matier on that quick shot. And Gingras has it around the net. Played it out on the right side for Preacher, who poked it away. And Mandich back on the defense with Hartsburg for Minnesota. Starts Acton. He missed the pass. Gavin had him lined up. Shook him up a little bit maybe as he was speeding right into Gavin. And didn't get the pass. Now Preacher to Therion. Therion waited. Got it back to Gingras. In back net again. Leaves center it. Horn gets ready from the blue line. His low shot. Stopped by Acton. Speeding out is Acton. He's across center going in on Jim Corn. Acton for Bellows. Shot. And he missed the net. Not by much, though, as he had Paul Matier moving to the other side. Bellows bumping now with Gingras. Minnesota roughing it up. Here's Hartsburg. Right in front it goes. The Leafs' Jim Corn hopping on it. He's away with Preacher. Corn takes his time. Now gives it to Daou. He digs for the net. That one by Beaupre. Very planned on it. In front. Low shot by 5 from his knees. And that did not miss by very much. Live from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Case most of the night, the Leafs with relentless pressure. You see number 44 in front of the net. Gets the penalty. The Leafs on the power play.
And that's Benning's shot. Low shot, just missed. Barish keeping it in to Anderson. To Vaughn. He hit the side of the net. 5 again from the corner. Back of the net is Daou. 5 comes out to Barish. To 5. 5 winds up. Does not shoot it. To the side of the net. Daou tried to hit Anderson and missed him. Leafs on a power play. Controlling the puck beautifully. To 5 to Daou. Daou gets in front. For that top far corner and just missed it.
You know, something that the Leafs are doing so well is movement, Bob. They're not standing still in a certain area of the ice. They're moving and trying to get themselves in the clear for a possible pass. And what it does is it frustrates your penalty killing job. You're running all over the place trying to keep up. So the Leafs are really creating openings for one another. And we see Daou now being attended to. But you'd like to bottle this power play, the way the Leafs move it around and They're getting the North Stars out of position. They're hustling for the puck. They're arriving there first, finding the open man. And you just think that sooner or later they've got to put it in the way they're getting their chances.
Go. Clipped with a high stick, I think. A lot of action around that Minnesota goal. He's back up. He's okay. He'll go for repairs likely, and you'll see more of him. A minute 29 left in the penalty to Payne of Minnesota. 5:04 left in the period, and it's 4-2 Toronto as Dow goes to the Maple Leaf bench. And that's where he is going to stay, so he's okay. McCourt comes on for the Leafs to Lego and to Preacher. Gingras on the defense with Salming. Minnesota's Broughton to take the face-off against McCourt. And he got the draw to Lindgren, who's back there with Maxwell. McCarthy up front as the Leafs handle the puck around. Beaupre again. Minnesota shooting it away. A minute 15 seconds left in the Minnesota penalty. And Salming will start it with McCourt going to his left. Salming brings it out to the line. Salming to center. He'll shoot it in now. And the Leafs hopping in as McCourt. Grabbed by Derlego to the line. Gingras let it go. And that block rebound. Beaupre is down. Loose puck. Derlego couldn't jam it in. McCourt has a chance. Shot deflected away. Leafs great pressure on now. That's Preacher. To Derlego. It didn't work. And it's across the line. Gingras has it. Leafs on a power play for another 35 seconds. And they come in. Derlego's pass. No one in there. Preacher poked at it. Preacher got his stick near it. Gingras comes in to help him. Preacher back near the line. Gets in the slot. Took a shot. Beaupre had to be careful. Made a good save. Salming along the boards. Leafs trying to get control of it again. That's McCourt. Into the corner for Bill Derlego. Derlego to the line. Gingras drive. It was right there, but Beaupre has been hanging on.
Oh, yeah, you got to admire him. He knows that he let in a couple of bad goals in this second period, but you have to respect him that he's hanging in there and he's really fighting, trying to keep his team close. Look at that save, and then just diving for that rebound. But the Leafs are winning the battle for the corners, Bob. Whenever there's a loose puck, the Leafs are coming up with it. And that's the reason that they're controlling most of the game. Shots 29-14 in the Leafs' favor.
And 6 seconds left in Payne's penalty. So the Leafs will have this face-off, and that will be it.
You should alert somebody to kind of hang back, because if Payne comes out of that penalty box, he could be in line for a breakaway.
Terrion will try to get the draw, but he couldn't against Acton. Now he's in on it quickly. Gets it back. The shot by Korn. Grabbed by Beaupre. The penalty is now over. Beaupre trying to feed it out where Payne was waiting. Bellows is in with Payne. Bellows cuts for the net. Knocked down. Puck goes to Stewart. Stewart lost it, and it's frozen. The play will be faced off to the right of Paul Matier, as Minnesota trails the Toronto Maple Leafs by a pair of goals. 3:20 to play in the second period. The Leafs are leading by a pair of goals, and Bellows trying to cup that lead now. His pass in front didn't work. Toronto will clear it. Long pass intended for 5. Bellows stopped it near center. 3:05 to play in the period. Minnesota on the move. Payne goes to the right wing. Acton coming in with Bellows. Great save by Paul Matier. And the Leafs will clear it now. This is Dao with Vine to his right. Anderson on the other wing. Dao to 5. He was knocked flying right into the goal crease area. Beaupre down. And they whistle the play dead with the goaltender hanging on to it again.
Now both teams took turns in giving up that blue line, and it resulted in good scoring opportunities. Let's have a look at the North Stars. Everybody backs in, and why not? Take the shot if it's there. Now watch that slapper. It's screened because Stewart is trying to block the shot. You know, Paul Matier makes a marvelous save to be able to pick up that screen shot. Just stick that left leg out.
A lot of action in this hockey game tonight.
Now the Islanders did a number on the Blackhawks, so a Leaf victory tonight will vault them into first place. How about that?
And from our first two periods, we'll have a replay in our second intermission tonight. Dave Hodge looking at some of the highlights that we spoke about. Also, we'll have action from Vancouver, where the Philadelphia Flyers are playing the Canucks.
Bob, in that victory by the Islanders, Mike Bossy scored the hat trick, now has 20 for the year. And of course, the Flyers still lead Vancouver by a 3-2.
McCourt with the draw, Lego the shot. Deflected away from the Minnesota net. 2:40 left in the second period. Leafs lead by 2 goals. Lindgren for McAdams. McAdams long pass to center. Marouk was covered. Parrish dumped it in again. Now Minnesota shooting it down the ice. Out of the net. Paul Matier hammered it on the boards and got it out to center ice. 3 Leafs coming in. This is Harris again. Shot grabbed by Beaupre. Harris has a goal. He's come close on another one as he hit the goal post on that short side. This time Beaupre made the save.
Mahoney had talked about, when he first came to Minnesota, about changing to a defensive sort of game. You know, looking at the North Stars, they really have a lot of difficulty covering open men.
Long shot by Stewart. Got through, but was wide. They lead it up to Broughton. Broughton coming in with McCarthy in front of the net. Broughton got it back in front. Tyrion covered his man, then fell to the ice. And the Leafs get it to Preacher, who couldn't clear it. Broughton again. Away from Salming is Broughton. Broughton centered it. And Paul Matier makes the big save. Gordy Roberts, coming from the blue line, was all alone. And Paul Matier, standing up, made the save.
Again, some good puck control by the North Stars. Watch Roberts. He gave him one fake. Paul Matier went down and then just showed him the glove, and Roberts shot it right in it. Good save.
Broughton, McCarthy right behind him, hoping that Broughton can get it back on this draw against Tyrion. Broughton won't get a chance with the face-off now. He's waved out. So is Tyrion. Cicerelli comes in against Gavin. 1:51 left in this period. Now they drop it in, or do they? Nope. Ron Asseltine, the linesman. Now it goes in, and the shot from the line didn't get very far. Tyrion blocked it. To Preacher. Coming in, Preacher tried to go in, but he was handled well by Roberts. Preacher trying to stop that pass, but 2 feet off the ice. It's all the way down the ice, and Stewart back. Icing called against Minnesota.
Well, that last play, Preacher going in on Roberts. Roberts made an excellent play there, one-on-one, just stopped him cold. And again, Mahoney was saying maybe he tried to stress defense too much. But the question that you have to consider is, what good is it scoring 30 goals if you're on the ice for 40? You know, the North Stars, they have a lot of offensive players that can score, but so far in the games that I've seen, they don't know how to stop anybody behind their own blue line. And the Leafs are getting just a lot of marvelous scoring chances.
Acton against Dow on this draw. 1:33 left in the period. Acton got the face-off to Hartsburg. He's back there with Brad Maxwell, number 5. Hammered it on the boards to center ice. The Leafs on it again, but Dow is offside. They'll bring it back to the Maple Leaf side of center ice. Anderson with 5, and Dow. Acton for Minnesota. And he has Payne on the left wing. Bellows on the right side. Now they're set. Dropped in. Salming bumped by Acton. Acton went after it. Salming after him. 5 trying to kick it loose. And they hold it there, so they slow it down now with 1:12 left in the period. Of course, the Leafs want to hang on, and they'll be satisfied to end this period with a 2-goal lead. Minnesota would love to make it a little bit closer.
Well, Bob, that would mean that the Leafs won both the first period and the second period by the 2-1 mark. And this game is far from over. But when you play the team like the North Stars and outplay them, in both the first and second period. That has to give you a lot of confidence going into the third.
Maxwell back there with Hartsburg, and Acton has the puck, slides it across center. Salming moving up, tipped it, but right to Hartsburg. He's coming in, broken up, and Dow's away. Dow with 5 racing in. Here's 5 breaking for the net, and a penalty coming up against Minnesota on that play. Not on the Vive attempt, but the delayed sign was made earlier. And around here somewhere, there's a penalty against Minnesota. Maxwell.
Well, I wonder. Let's keep an eye on Dow. He got tripped, but you see the retaliation, and I think that's what Hogarth is calling the retaliation on the play.
That is exactly the case. Here's the
2
announcement.
minutes for tripping. Time 19:09. Dan Daou for tripping. Time 19:09.
Well, the play had moved down, as you see now, when Dow was coming out, and the sign had been made somewhere around here. But you're right, Gary. There's the retaliation.
I know it hurts when you get knocked down and you feel the penalty should have been called against you, as it was the case against Daou. But sometimes, you know, you just can't retaliate in a situation like that, because what you're doing is you're giving the North Stars some life. If they were to score before the end of the second period, brand new ball game.
So it really didn't matter what Vive did. That's the assistant coach of Minnesota. Muzz, they call him, Murray Oliver. Because the moment Vive picked up the puck, the penalty had been called. All right, 40 seconds left in the period. A great opportunity for Minnesota. Cicerelli is cruising up near center ice. McCarthy takes the pass, though. There is Cicerelli with him. So was Broughton. It's cleared in behind the net. Korn couldn't stop it. Comes back near the line. The Leafs break it up, but not out. Derlego couldn't move it out. Now it's chopped away from Cicerelli. And Salming gets it ahead. He's onside. Derlego is with McCord in front. Hide the backhander with 10 seconds left in the period. And Beaupre hugging the post stopped it. McCarthy's pass stopped. 5 seconds left in the period. This will do it as it's cleared down the ice and the horn goes. 2 period shots, 33-16 for Toronto. And the score at the end of the second. Wait a moment. The score at the end of the second period, Toronto 4 and Minnesota 2.
Only once they've done that this year.
And as we mentioned earlier, Winnipeg the only team idle tonight. A rarity tomorrow, Sunday, there are no games in the National Hockey League. But a lot of action tonight, of course. Here, it's 4-2 Toronto over Minnesota as we're ready for the start of the third period. Willie Flett was thrown out of the game. He got his game misconduct for being the instigator in the fight that occurred at the end of the second period. Gavin of Toronto and Ashton of Minnesota were also fighting, for which they drew 5-minute majors. Flett, a major penalty plus a game misconduct. He injured Rick Vive with a punch, and we are still awaiting word on how Rick Vive is.
You know, once Daou gets on the ice, the Leafs will enjoy approximately 3 minutes and 51 seconds of power play, and they could put the North Stars away to another loss by really working on that power play and getting a couple of goals. And that has really been the strength of the Leafs this year, is the way they've operated on the power play.
So Daou will be back in 1:09, and the puck is dropped in to start the third period. Bellows slides it ahead to Hartsburg. He did not hang on to it. Gingras for Toronto with Derlego coming out. And McCord on the right side. Gingras tried to do it himself. Acton stole it. Bumped by Salming, and he could not move. Gingras fades back to Salming to Gingras. 44 seconds. Daou will be on the ice. Now the Maple Leafs. Gingras forced back in his own net, allowing Salming to pick it up, and he made a great move, throwing it through his skates, then passing it to Derlego, and his shot, telegraphed easily, was deflected into the far end blues up behind Don Beaupre.
There are signs all over the guards today. Mike Nicoluk, he knows that some of his injured players will be returning before very long.
And the most interesting of which is Gary Nyland. He was skating miles again today in the workout here at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Yes, Terry Martin will be probably the first guy to come back. He's expected back Wednesday.
That's McCarthy being grabbed. Couldn't get a good shot away. Kept in by Roberts. His backhander is deflected over the glass into the crowd. They're expecting Nyland back sometime next month. He is feeling better all the time. He told me today he is feeling much better, finds very little discomfort and pain in the knee where he had, as you all know, a second knee operation. Greg Terrion over to the Leaf bench, following something to Mike Nicola.
It would have been very difficult playing against a guy like Terrion because he just harasses you at every time you take a stride. He's right beside you. That's the kind of guys that really upset your game plan, and I'm sure that Neil Broughton has felt his frustration all night. Pest is a good way to describe him.
Daou will be on the ice in 5 seconds from now. The Leafs go in. That's Benning out of the net. Is Beaupre to try and clear it. Daou is on the ice. And in the major penalty to Plett, 3:45 remaining. So the Leafs have an opportunity now with the power play. They're leading 4-2. We have played a minute and a half in the final period. Shooting it in. It's tipped by Freacher behind the Minnesota net. Roberts trying to clear. That is Freacher in the corner. Knocked his man to the ice, and Giles races out to center and shoots it down behind the Maple Leaf goal. North Stars making changes. Lindgren is on the Minnesota defense as Benning comes in with Freacher. Benning gets set, goes to the side of the net, centered and they score!
Game after game, Jim Benning continues to improve. When he was drafted, everybody knew that he had great offensive skills with his skating and puck handling. Here he gives a demonstration. Keep an eye on Anderson. He gets away from his check and just got it past Giles and into the clear, and Benning just makes a perfect pass. Again, the North Stars are attracted by the puck carrier instead of picking up the loose man.
And Dave Parrish, time 1:53.
Parrish also got an assist on the goal at 1:53 here in the third. And the Leafs are still on a power play. 3 minutes left in the major penalty, handed out to Willie Plett at the end of the second period. Now 2:55 to be precise. There is Anderson, who got his 13th of the season. Second power play goal on the night for Anderson, and the Leafs, Benning and Parrish assisting.
You often think of a goal scorer just rifling that puck into the net, but it takes more than that. You have to get yourself in a good scoring position, create an opening for the puck carrier, and that's exactly what Anderson did. Got away from his check, and then once he got it, he knew what to do with it.
5-2 Toronto. The Maple Leafs on that power play and organizing to center ice. Kingraw's pass went up to Harris, and he was across center receiving the pass. And Mr. Harris was offside, so it's called back.
Billy Harris this morning during the workout felt very confident about playing with his new wingmates, McCourt and Gerlago. He says, you know, we got a pretty good line now. That McCourt, he gives you the puck when you're breaking for the hole. He doesn't hang on to it and cause the offside. If you're in the clear, you know one thing, you're going to get it.
That's Harris dancing in. Harris gets set to play it to the corner. He does. McCourt looking around, centering it. Solving shot. Missed the far post. Gingras to Harris again. Harris to the corner. Harris waits, trying to find somebody loose. It's Gingras to Harris. He might shoot it. Harris didn't shoot it. Back of the net it goes. Solving was in front. Solving has to come back near the line now. Made that good move again. Hooked it behind the goal, and Harris from the corner trying to work it loose to Gerlago. Harris goes to the ice. Gerlago back of the net. Sweeps out in front. Can't shoot it from there. Gingras to Harris. Testing the goaltender from that short side. And Beaupre made the save. Leafs on a power play. So far for Minnesota, so good, allowing just the one goal. But they're in again. That's Harris. Back of the net. Can't get it in front against Roberts. The Leafs come in front anyway. Beaupre down. Derlego snapping at it. Scramble. And Beaupre hangs on for dear life.
Well, how many opportunities do you want to put that puck over the red line? Harris and Derlego, they took turns batting at it, but couldn't get it past Beaupre. It's a helpless feeling for a goaltender when you're on your back and two Leaf players are battling away and can't score. Let's watch it again. That's good pressure by the Leafs on the power play. They have certainly controlled every aspect of the game. Another demonstration of how those good scoring chances have materialized, one after another.
We just got word that Rick Vive is okay, and he is expected to return sometime in this third period. 3 minutes and 30 seconds gone in the third now. The Leafs are up 5-2 over Minnesota, still on a power play for another 120. Out in front it comes. Shot by Parrish wide. Preacher back of the net in the corner against Lindgren. Preacher again against Lindgren. Lindgren hooked it away. Benning will keep it in. Benning slides it off the boards. Lindgren again. And he got it by Benning this time and behind the Leaf defenseman, and it goes down the ice. 1 minute left in the penalty, the major penalty against Kleck. Minnesota coming in. They came a bit close there. Three Leafs coming out. Preacher up front. Benning coming in. Benning gets set. Slides a pass back. It hit Giles. Giles on it now for Minnesota. Giles will shoot it down the ice, and now 40 seconds left in the major penalty against Minnesota. Look at this. Paul Matier watching it bounce off the boards, rather cool about it. It was in the crease area and nobody in that Maple Leaf net, but no harm done. But it's always frightening to see that puck there with the net empty. Preacher coming in with Tyrion. Preacher trying to hook it into him. Minnesota breaking it up, and they're doing well. Killing the rest of this penalty. 15 seconds left on the penalty now. Baruch went in. Preacher turned. 10 seconds left on the penalty. 5-2 Toronto. Preacher was in the clear, but Hartsburg a good play. Ferguson gets ready to step back on. He is serving Kleck's major penalty. He's on the ice now. So Minnesota had a chance to get back into it. But they're down 3 goals with 14:50 left in the third period. And Graham dances away from a check by McCarthy. Graham went in, made a move though, and Tyrion had gone in across the blue line and is offside.
Bob, Rick Vive is back at the players' bench. You see him coming out of the dressing room. I imagine he got a few stitches. And he'll see some action in this third period. You can bet on that.
Vive, for you late tuners in, was hit by Willie Flett at the end of the second period, which started a fight. Flett received a game misconduct for being the instigator in that practice at the end of the period. So Minnesota had 2 major penalties, and Toronto 1. From Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
For 32.
Well, we're going to have more penalties.
2 minutes for slashing. Toronto penalty to number 23, Pat Graham. 2 minutes for high sticking. Time 5:22.
5:22, the penalty time. Mandich of Minnesota, Graham of Toronto. High sticking and slashing. The slashing penalty to Mandich of Minnesota. Broughton on the move. Tried to knife through. Great play by Paul Matier to stop that shot. And Broughton looked great going in there. There's Broughton again getting it back to come over the line, though. And Roberts has to wait for the Minnesota North Stars to get back on side. 14 minutes left in the third period. Toronto 5 and Minnesota 2. That's Broughton again to McCarthy. Bringing him loose. McCarthy's shot stopped by Paul Matier. And the Leafs clear it. That's Gavin. He can skate. Gavin going up with a drive. And it's high off the glass. Broughton has it. Broughton's pass in behind Bellows. And Salming takes over in the Leaf zone. Watching Bellows forechecking. Salming stopping there to lose Bellows for a moment. And then McCourt brings it in. Dale McCourt, great play! Good stop by Beaupre, but Court can run him over when he gets the opportunity and when he wants to.
And he's very tricky when he's carrying that puck, and he gave a couple little shoulder fakes and ended up getting a good shot on Beaupre. Well, let's see if there's any damage done as Rick Vive is sitting on the bench with his teammates. high in the cheekbone.
Leaks in again. Another shot after the draw by Gingras was on Beaupre. Leafs lead by 3. Minnesota trying to get back into it. That's Maxwell. His shot kicked out by Paul Matier. And Derlego was right there swinging out with McCourt. The 2 Leafs are going in. That's Derlego getting set. Couldn't get his shot through. It was blocked, and Maxwell hopped on it quickly. Maxwell's pass back near the line. Stop. Gingras again let her fly wide. Salmi moving up. High shot on the glass. 3 high ones in a row. This time it bounces all the way down to the lead zone.
How do you like to stand in front of the net when the shots are whizzling around your nose?
No, thank you. 12:40 left in the third period. Salming again. Coming in. Penalized players are back on. Beaupre making the save, and Bellows for Minnesota. Stick handles away from one check home by Anderson. Bellows coming in. Bellows driving for the net. Centered it. Anderson got back to hook into the corner, and Acton takes over. Acton to Maxwell. Shot score. Acton spotted it coming in from the blue line. Maxwell took the pass and wasted no time to the far side.
Now, Bob, actually, Brian Bellows got things rolling as he carried the puck the length of the ice. And you see Daou, that was his man, and he had his back to Maxwell. And when that happens, the defenseman can sneak right by you. You have to position yourself so you can keep an eye on the defenseman and also the puck carrier. And the Leafs paid for that one.
Maxwell from Acton, 7:43. Number 6 on the year for Maxwell. So 5-3 the score now. Minnesota striking back. They do not quit. 5 on the ice, as you see, for Toronto, fighting for it over there. But McAdam will clear it for Minnesota. Giles hooked it out to center ice. And the Leafs take over it again. It's slapped away by Farage. And the puck goes flying back inside the Maple Leaf line. And comes back out again. Daou couldn't pick it off. Giles does at his own blue line. Nearly gave it to Daou. 5 shot it in. Daou is offside. And the play is called. Minnesota and the Leafs get a hot one here tonight at Toronto. Leafs lead by 2. Play just underway, and from the Minnesota zone. Maxwell trying to move it up. Gavin was quick to move on it. Tyrion behind the net. Center. Beaupre had to cover on the short side again. As the Leafs continue to give Don Beaupre problems. Broughton dropped it back. And Gavin swings out with Preacher carrying. This is Preacher coming in. Fake the shot. Put on the brakes. Preacher still has it. Now it's knocked away from him and McCarthy to Broughton. Broughton with Ciccarelli on the right side. Coming in is Broughton. Gavin all over him. Knocked him down. The 2 players to the ice. It's gloved ahead. So it'll be called back for a face-off in the Toronto zone to the right of Paul Matier.
It's been a very frustrating year for Willie Plett. You know, he's used to playing a lot of hockey, and Mahoney has not played him very much. Result, Plett with 1 goal. He got thrown out of tonight's hockey game. So who knows what's going to happen with Willie Plett. Right now, the North Stars have no choice but to go with 3 lines.
And on this occasion, Acton comes to center ice with Bellows and Payne. A total of 81 minutes in penalties so far in this hockey game. 10:50 to go. In the third period, Derlego's pass to the right side. Harris coming in from court. Right in. Score! Beautiful play. And I'm telling you, Gary, that Dale McCourt is looking more like the first draft pick every day.
Well, how about the pass? You know, a pass out of your own end. Now watch Harris hit McCourt right through the middle. Now, most guys like to go to their backhand, but Dale McCourt, he faked to the backhand, went to the forehand, and in it goes. That's what happens, though, when you don't stagger your defenseman. You pay for it as McCourt goes right through the middle.
We'll give you that official scoring play in just a moment. McCourt got the goal from Derlego. Minnesota now down by 3. Harris playing well, blocked the shot. It's cleared to center. Derlego nearly got away. Harrison Derlego assisting on McCourt's 11th of the season. Acton is stopped. And the time of that 6th goal for Toronto, 9:20. The Leafs, Derlego again backhands it in. He was bumped as he let that puck go.
Well, we've seen more hits tonight than we have all season. Both teams are getting a little fired up right at this stage of the game.
Bellows picking up speed. Bellows, great play! Stop! Rebound! Palmetier, look back! Grabbed it, but Bellows looked great going in. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Play just underway, and Benning is coming out for Toronto. Sliding a pass ahead, broken up at the Minnesota line. Another fight started at the far side. Now they call the play. Yao squaring off with Brian Lawton, I think. The linesmen are in rather quickly. They'll have their work cut out for them tonight.
Been that kind of a game, hasn't it?
So we're going to have more penalties. Not much damage, but Minnesota, Lawton goes, so does Dow of the Maple Leafs.
And Lawton and Dan Dow head for the penalty box, both drawing roughing penalties. What we've seen of Lawton, Bob, this youngster is going to be a real good one. Only 18 years old. And Mahoney hasn't put in any pressure situations. He's given him a lot of ice time and wants to give him a lot more.
10:22, the time of these penalties. Minnesota trailing Toronto by 3 goals. Cicerelli on the ice again, sliding a pass through. Marouk couldn't knock it down. Gingras back. Marouk knocked it to the ice, centered it. Palmetier had to be careful with Cicerelli flying in on top of him. Marouk now. Palmetier faked him out of the play. Maxwell in the center ice area nearly lost it. Therion will hound him now, pushing him back into the Minnesota zone. Cicerelli lost it. Shot by Gavin. Blocked by Beaupre. 9 minutes left in the third period. The Leafs lead 6-3, and Minnesota's starting out again. Around Therion. That's Hartsburg. Maxwell waits near the line. The pass in front. Score! Again, that quick shot by Marouk just got by Palmetier and just inside the post, and the Stars stay close.
They keep hanging in there, but you notice everybody back in. And anytime you give Hartsburg that blue line, he can set up some pretty good plays. He made such a nice little soft pass to Marouk. Marouk was able to take it on his backhand. Now Gingras looks like he has him, but it's Marouk that keeps his balance. Gingras goes down, and the puck goes in the net.
Time of the goal. Hartsburg and Maxwell both getting assists. The 7th on the year for Marouk. 6-4, Toronto. Minnesota gaining momentum now. Coming down. Broughton knocked to the ice. Giles gets set from the blue line. Hooked it in front. That's Broughton again to Roberts. To Broughton. He had to tip it away from the net. He was covered by Stewart. Giles again. Minnesota with the pressure on. Broughton coming in. Broughton scores! The Leafs look frustrated and bewildered with the Minnesota North Stars down 3 goals. Strike back now with 2 fast ones, and it's 6-5.
Well, some good puck control here by the Minnesota North Stars. Right now, they've taken control the last couple of shifts. They're just working a lot harder than they did at the beginning of the game. This looks like a very harmless play. Broughton slid it on the backhand and just caught Palmetier flat-footed, and we're at 6-5. Don't go away.
Big shift for Broughton.
Assist number 10, Gordy Roberts, and number 2, Kurt Giles. Time 11:51.
11:51.
Neil
the
Broughton
time. The 2
from
defensemen,
Gordy
Roberts and Giles assisting.
Time 11:51.
And that's number 9 for Broughton this season. But he sure was hustling on that last shift. Neil Broughton. All right, 6-5. Just about a new game. Minnesota within 1. 7:50 to play in the third period. Hartsburg fired it up to center. The Leafs now. Stewart having to back up against Bellows. Hartsburg covering his man. 5 on the ice, couldn't get the puck. Coming in is Bellows. Slides a pass to Maxwell. Nice shot off the glass. 5 trying to knock it out and can't. Minnesota keep that pressure on Toronto. They're in forechecking now. 2 of them in deep. Good play by Daou, but he couldn't clear it out. Salming is going to try it. Payne is watching him. Salming starts away. A second time, he turns around the net. A second time, Payne chased him. Finally, he lost him. Down goes Daou. Up with 5. Daou and 5 going in. And it's fired away around on the boards. Got out. Centered in front. Daou hustling after it against Payne. And it's hooked high over the glass into the crowd. Again, Brian McFarland is with us for this NHL update.
A couple of minutes left to play at the Pacific Coliseum. We're going to show you a big goal by Darryl Sittler, his 7th of the year, and it comes on the power play with the Flyers leading 4-3. Barber will get the puck just inside the blue line. And we're having problems with our feed from Vancouver, so we'll try to show you this later, but I can tell you it's 5-3, the Flyers in front with time running out on the Canucks.
And we have plenty of time here, Brian. 6:50 left in the third period, and Minnesota fighting back against the Maple Leafs. And they're within 1 now of Toronto. Coming in is Roberts. Roberts cutting for the net. Great play. And Paul Matier had to be careful. Minnesota keeping that relentless pressure on the Maple Leafs. They stop it up the line, but the Leafs now will clear it. 3 of them are coming out. McCourt to Derlego. Back to McCourt. Coming in is Harris. Harris to Derlego. It went by both Derlego and McCourt. McCourt staying with it. McCourt is bumped. Finally falls, but here's Court. A pass. A shot. And wide. Harris again moving in. McCourt again. Derlego trying to pick it up. It's fired around the net by Marouk. Harris missed it. It's in the center ice area. 6 minutes left in the third period. Again, McCourt handling the puck beautifully tonight. Played it in off the boards for Derlego. A little too far, though. And Lindgren for Minnesota starting to play. It ends up on the stick of Broughton. He's in with Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli shot picked out by Paul Matier. And the Leafs hanging on now. Move it out. The center ice is Preacher. His shot deflected into the crowd. Again, Brian McFarland is with us. And this time, this NHL update.
Bob will ask the Flyers to set up their power play once again. This is the goal we were talking about. There's Barber inside the line. Puck will come right off the pads of Brodeur onto Sittler's stick. It's in the net. 5-3. The Flyers lead the Canucks with time running out on Vancouver.
Bob, up until that last shift when McCourt had his line out there, the Leafs were hanging back, going into that defensive shell, and it's the last thing you want to do. And, of course, the North Stars took advantage of that. They crossed the blue line and scored a couple of quick goals. So it's important for the Leafs to put as much pressure on the North Stars as they can, but do it intelligently. As long as you have that one man coming back, that's all you need.
2-1 at the end of the first period. 4-2 at the end of the second. It's 6-5 now. The Maple Leafs leading throughout the hockey game, but the North Stars are fighting back, and they're coming close. That's hooked into the crowd in the Leaf zone. So they'll bring it back for a face-off to the right of Paul Matier in that big circle. We'll be back in a moment. Broughton, who's been holding a hot hand for Minnesota tonight, running back on the draw, jumps in front, and he is very, very dangerous. Neil Broughton, number 7, never stops. Buzzing around inside that line. McAdam can't catch up to it this time. Paul Matier flipped it ahead. Back to Broughton, around the net, McAdam. Stewart on him. He holds him in on the boards. Now Broughton again. Look at him work this thing around. That's Broughton centering it. They nearly get a drive away. Murphy let it go. That's just wide. Kept in. Again Broughton slides it back to the line. Minnesota had great pressure on Toronto. Broughton, another shot. Broughton again. Can you believe it? He's all over the puck on this ship. Neil Broughton, number 7. There he is again, grabbing it. He owns it so far at this point in the third period. Hartsburg backing up. Nearly lost it there at center. Did lose it finally. It poked away. One-on-one. Daou for Toronto. Trying to stick handle around couldn't. Lindgren had him taped all the way, and the two players go to the boards in the Minnesota zone, and who else is back but Broughton. Broughton got away from 5. Broughton decides to go behind the net. 4 minutes, 5 seconds left in the third period. The Leafs lead by a goal. But Minnesota, I'll tell you, are coming close to tying this hockey game. Now the Leafs come in. Here's 5. 5 tried to center it. Gingras can't find it. And North Stars come out. A play to center ice. This is coming in with Bellows. Bellows had it knocked away by Korn. Korn flipped it back to Gingras. Gingras hammered it, trying to hang on now. And it went over the glass into the crowd. But you get the feeling, the way Minnesota North Stars are going, they could tie this when we come back. Neil Broughton with his 9th goal of the season, drawing Minnesota to within 1 goal of the Maple Leafs. We have 3:38 remaining in the third period. And McCord is on the ice at center ice for Toronto Maple Leafs. Acton thrown out. Bellows is in. The draw goes right back to Salming. Salming for Derlego. Derlego cleared it on the boards. McCord tried to slide it through to Harris. Didn't work. Roberts now played it ahead. Bellows gets it across the line. Hopped up after it. McCord sending the North Stars back. 3:15 remaining in the third period. Leafs, 2 players in forechecking. But Maxwell gets it ahead. Coming down as Acton had it knocked away up the line by Salming on the poke check. Derlego's away as Harris fell. Derlego got rid of it. Leafs trying to make changes. Minnesota trying to tie the hockey game. Playing it in on an open wing, and the Leafs just hook it down the ice. Just missed Breacher. Minnesota coming out. Pass ahead by Hartsburg to Acton. Acton and Bellows go in. Bellows cuts in front. A bump, and Cherion sends it back down. 2 Leafs come in. Breacher shot to the short side and just missed. Gavin keeping it in. 6-5 Toronto. 2:25 to play in the third period. Minnesota trying to tie this hockey game, and the Leafs trying to put it away with some more insurance. They're up by just 1 as Giles takes it behind the net. Cherion in watching him. Lawton turning to the right side. Giles coming out. A long lead pass does not work. It goes down the ice. The North Stars are really skating. They're in first. McAdam touching it, so no icing. Minnesota hustling. Baruch centered it. Didn't work. 1:55 to play in the third period. We'll keep an eye on Beaupre to see if he moves out of that Minnesota net. Lawton shot. Hit wide of the net. Minnesota, great heat on Toronto now. Back in front it comes. Roberts dumped it to the corner. Gavin went in there after it. Gavin hanging on, and we've got penalty calls. Little pushing in front of Paul Matier with a score: Toronto 6, Minnesota 5. This is Hockey Night in Canada.
Capitals, right in the Montreal form, win 5-2. And the Philadelphia Flyers, a 5-4 squeaker over the Vancouver Canucks. And right here at Maple Leaf Gardens, Jim Korn took a penalty at a very opportune time. 1:41 left. He's in the penalty box for high sticking. Well, the time has come to see what the Leafs can do killing penalties, and that has not been one of their strengths this year. In fact, I think they were 15th in the league killing penalties.
So, from the draw, Minnesota trying to tie the game. A shot from the blue line, knocked down in front of Paul Matier. A scramble for the loose puck. Bellows hit the side of the net. McCord went after it. He came this way. Broughton on the ice, fed it in. McCarthy shot. That's blocked by Paul Matier, and Salming hammered it down the ice. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play in this hot game here at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight. 6-5, Toronto leading. And it's Minnesota on a power play. Beaupre edging out of the net. He's still in there, though. Broughton shoots it in behind the goal. Stewart firing it on the glass. Down the ice it goes. The Leafs are just hanging on. A minute left in the third period, and can they hang on to defeat Minnesota? Well, we'll see. 50 seconds left, and here comes Beaupre out of the net. And here comes Bellows for Minnesota. The Minnesota net is empty. The Stars are offside, and the play is called. Wait a minute. Did they have too many on the ice, maybe?
Now, Bob, what had happened is a player jumped on the ice before Beaupre got to the bench. So the whistle blows automatically and goes to center ice.
This is Bob Cole with Gary Dornhofer in Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens. We've got a hot finish tonight to a very interesting, great hockey game. 47 seconds left in the third period. The Toronto Maple Leafs, up by 3 goals at one point in this game, have watched the Minnesota North Stars storm back to within 1. And that's the picture now. 6-5 Toronto. And it's anybody's hockey game.
Well, it certainly is. The North Stars did call timeout. They're going to plan their strategy. They'll enjoy a man advantage. And they'll look for an opportunity of getting Beaupre out of the net for that 6th attacker. They had an opportunity, but the man jumped on the ice too soon before Beaupre got to the bench. So the face-off will take place right at center ice.
And this is an important factor for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Minnesota had gone in offside, but the play had been called when, as you say, Gary, one of the Stars was on the bench before Beaupre was in the vicinity of the Minnesota bench. Now he's over there on the bench. The Leafs' Jim Korn is in the penalty box. 1:06 left in his penalty, so he's through with only 47 seconds left in this third period. It depends, of course, on whether Minnesota can tie it and we go to overtime. Well, let's see.
I can't understand why they don't have one of the defensemen back a little bit to kind of protect that net. The Leafs get to draw one shot and it's all over.
And here comes Bellows. He's trying to shoot it into the corner. Does Paul Matier with that curved stick, trying to move it out. Leafs get a chance to clear it. Down the ice it goes. Just wide of the net. But the Leafs being short-handed. Take a chance on that now. Here's a chance over Lego. He can't find the handle. For the empty net, that could be a big play. Maybe the biggest play of the game as Bellows comes in. Paul Matier out, falling. Hangs onto that puck, though. And he'll get a face-off in the Maple Leaf zone. Folks, we have 20 seconds left in the third period. The Leafs at one time leading by 3, now lead by 1. Minnesota with the net empty and the Leafs short-handed.
It shouldn't have been that difficult for the Leafs tonight because they've had a large territorial advantage, out shooting North Stars 45-28 at this juncture of the game, and a lot of those 45 shots were labeled from about 15 feet out. It looks like the Leafs now, Bob, have called timeout, and we wonder how important that play behind the North Stars net with the net empty with Derlego overskating the puck, because the face-off will come into the Leafs' end of the ice. You dream about those the next day.
Korn is in the penalty box for the Toronto Maple Leafs. McCourt had given the Leafs a 6-3 lead with his 11th of the season at 9:20 of this third period. And then the North Stars seemed to regroup. They were flying inside the Maple Leaf blue line. Relentless forechecking paid off when Marouk scored to make it 6-4 at 11:13. And then Broughton, who has had a tremendous third period and a great game, really, got his 9th from Roberts and Giles at 11:51, and it's 6-5 now.
But the North Stars really have only played about 7 minutes of this game where they've controlled things in the Leafs' end. Otherwise, it's been all Maple Leafs, and here it's the Toronto team that are holding on by the tip of their fingernails.
And those 7 minutes, Gary, were probably all right here in the third period, especially in the second half, and they're coming on strong. Beaupre of Minnesota, the goaltender, is on the bench. They have an extra man on, and another extra man on the penalty to Jim Korn. 20 seconds left in the third period. Toronto lead by 1. There's the drop of the puck. It's back to Maxwell. Shot! Stopped by Paul Matier. Loose puck, and Paul Matier has it again. They have killed 6 seconds. We have now 14 seconds to play, and that thread the Leafs are hanging on to grows shorter.
All right, the face-off, so very important. This juncture of the game, the North Stars win the first opportunity. Now look at the jam up in front of the net. That's what you try to do. Somehow Paul Matier was able to get his pad on it and come up with the save.
Broughton, number 7, goes in to take the face-off for Minnesota. And there he is against Tyrion of Toronto. Derlego goes to the bench. The Minnesota net is empty. 14 seconds remaining. Again, Minnesota with a draw. Palmatier down. Bellows hit the side of the net. A scramble for it. What a finish to this hockey game. If in fact it does finish, it comes in front. Score! 3 seconds left. And Minnesota ties the hockey game. And we've got overtime coming up.
Well, Brian Bellows had a glorious opportunity to tie the game. This lost possession, and you're going to see Terrion end up with possession of the puck. There's the near miss. Now watch Terrion. He'll grab a hold of it. He's got a lot of time to do something with it. Well, not a lot of time, so it was pretty good pressure, but Broughton strips him of the puck and fires it home. Again, a quick wrist shot on the short side. We're tied at 6.
Broughton has done it again here in the third period. Time has run out. And we get set now for overtime. The official scoring play, Broughton his 10th from McCarthy at 19:57, and we'll return with overtime in a moment. Overtime here in Toronto. The Minnesota North Stars have come back to score 3 in a row here in the third period. Marouk and 2 by Broughton. The last one, the second by Broughton, with just 3 seconds left in regulation time and overtime now.
Right, Bob, and they won 2 key face-offs in the Leafs' end of the ice. The Leafs had their checkers on the ice, and they just couldn't do the job. So here we go.
So sudden death overtime. And when you think about it, it's big stuff. These 2 teams are fighting for first place in the Norris Division. And the winner will have that position. Minnesota coming in first. It's Payne trying to center it. Bellows was bumped. Now Salming turning in his own zone. Bellows picking it off again, breaking it up and sending it back inside the Leaf line. Gingras hesitating. That pass to Payne nearly did it. He just missed. Long pass to center. 5. Bumped at it. 5 trying to go in. Had it knocked away. And Payne again for Minnesota. Pass to Bellows. He's covered by Salming. But he put it right on Acton's stick. Minnesota changing quickly. They played 50 seconds of sudden death overtime. 5. A pass didn't get through. McCarthy coming in. He's stopped. Falls. And the Leafs just hang on and shoot it back out. They played a minute of overtime. Palmatier couldn't stop it. Again, 5 backing up from the corner. Starting away for Toronto. Got rid of it to center ice. He is trying to get to the bench. But the Stars won't let the Leafs change. They keep them inside their own line. This is a pass up by Hartsburg, but he couldn't shoot it. Cicerelli got it back. There's the shot, dribbled high over the net. Salming watched it go high in behind the goal. There's Broughton on the ice again. Broughton falls, gets back up. Gingras comes out. Broughton after it. The Leafs can't get across center ice. Broughton brings it back in. Broughton and Cicerelli score! What a third period. The Minnesota bench is on the ice to shower praise on Neil Broughton. He scored 2 goals to tie it. And here at 1:42 of sudden death overtime, the Minnesota North Stars, thanks to the work of Broughton, pull out a 7-6 win over Toronto.
Quite a comeback by the Minnesota North Stars, but that's one that the Leafs let slip because they had the game under control. They went into that defensive shell, and that's all she wrote. Again, Neil Broughton on the shot and beats Palmatier to win it 7-6, but the Leafs never got out of their own end in overtime. Right away, the North Stars just kept right on going, got their act going late in that third period, and it's amazing. There's a good situation, Bob, for the North Stars. You know, you just keep battling right to the end, and sometimes you're rewarded, and that's exactly what happened with Minnesota.
Well, they've been rewarded because now they move with 25 points into first place in the Norris Division. Chicago, who lost tonight, remain at 22. The Leafs, who have just lost in overtime, are also at 22.
On the first Saturday of the last month of the year, West meets East on Hockey Night in Canada. At the Forum in Montreal, the Canadiens will play host to the Calgary Flames. And at Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens, it's the Leafs against the Vancouver Canucks, who feature sophomore scoring sensation Tony Tanti. Calgary at Montreal, and Vancouver at Toronto. 2 Hockey Night in Canada attractions Saturday, December 3rd.
Broughton. The second star, Dan Daou. And the third star, Brian Bellows.
Hockey Night in Canada returns in just a moment.